Hello, I'm Lisa. Welcome to the Whimsy Stamps Summer Hop and Giveaway. You'll see some fun projects featuring the truck die set throughout this hop. We hope you'll leave a comment and subscribe to each channel participating in the hop so that you can qualify for a chance to win that $100 gift certificate to the Whimsy Stamps online shop. Now, in this hop, you can find all the participating videos by clicking the hashtag in the title. Hashtag Whimsy Stamps Summer. If you're new to the Whimsy Stamps channel, please hit that subscribe button and set that notification bell to stay in touch when new content is posted. And to our loyal subscribers, welcome back. So here's the star of the show, the truck die set. This is such a great little die set from Whimsy. Not only can you use it for summer, but you could use it throughout the year. Especially love it for fall, for filling it with pumpkins, and around the holidays you could put packages in the back of it. But there are a lot of options, and I'm hoping that you'll get some feel for the different things you can use it for throughout this hop. I decided that instead of filling it with anything, I would just leave it empty for this card, and I think it'll make more sense once we get through the process of creating. Now, most of the work for this card I'm creating with you today is die cutting. So really nothing real hard in this process. And we're going to go ahead and have a look now at some of the other products that I'm going to be using. So the pierced and stitched circle dies, I'm going to be using the second to the largest circle die out of that set. And we're going to be using the Build an Island die set, just the palm trees out of this. You probably already have a good idea of where this is headed, right? We're going to go ahead and get started die cutting the truck. It takes more time to do this than any other part of this process. And luckily this fits into my little Sidekick die cutting machine, so I can just quickly run all this through and we'll start to assemble it as soon as the pieces are cut. Now, I'm going to be using black cardstock, white cardstock, a little bit of gray, and I'm also using some pink foil cardstock or mirror cardstock. So I'm just grabbing everything that I need here, getting all set up. While I'm doing that, I want to give you some details on the hop. So of course you have until Monday, June 26th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hop along, leaving your comment and subscribing to each channel participating in the hop in order to qualify for a chance to win that $100 gift certificate from Whimsy Stamps. Again, this is a hashtag driven hop, and what that simply means for you is you're going to see in the title of this video a blue hashtag Whimsy Stamps Summer. You click on that, or you can even type it into the search bar at the top of YouTube, and it's going to populate a list of all the videos participating in the hop. And then you can just click down those videos, hop along whenever you have a chance. I do want to let you know that Whimsy Stamps is solely responsible for the prize being given away. Now, on June 28th, I will announce the winner here in the description box of this video. So you want to come back to this video. You're going to see in the title, it's going to say the name of the title of this video, and then it's going to say closed. Once you see that closed, that means the winner has been listed down in the description box. So you're going to scroll down and check the very top of the description box to see who the winner is. Also, if you make sure you have your notifications set when I announce the winner, I also go down and find your comment in the comment section, and I reply letting the winner know that they have won and to please contact us at whimsystampsvideoteam@gmail.com. You're going to want to put the subject line summer in the email you send us if you are announced the winner. So now that we have all the details out of the way, you can see I've been doing a lot of die cutting here on the screen. Now, you don't have to do as many layers as I do when I'm die cutting, but I like a lot of dimension. You all know that about me. So what I did was I cut 2 layers of the truck. I cut out 3 layers of the tires in black. And then I cut extra layers with the gray cardstock for the rim of the tire. And I also went ahead and took my die, laid it down, the tire die, laid it on a piece of scrap white cardstock, traced that rim out, and then cut it out with scissors. And that's what I'm going to build my tire on. And it's a lot To me, it seems like it's a little bit easier to build that tire on a piece of white scrap cardstock or any scrap cardstock. It doesn't have to be white. It's easier to build the tire on one piece of cardstock and then place it on your card rather than trying to place all of it on the card, gluing it together. It'll make sense once we get to that. Now, a couple of things I do want to tell you is sometimes I do use this little sticker maker from Xyron. This is a disposable sticker maker, and I don't use it too often, but every once in a while I'll grab for it if the pieces are really small like they are with this. Also, there are times that I just use my glue and I use my lift and release tool. Now, I know a lot of people think your lift and release tool is for sequins, but you can use it for so much more than sequins. And I have found that my lift and release tool is perfect for picking up tiny little die cut pieces and placing them when I'm stacking to create dimension. And you're going to see that here in just a few seconds. Now, when I do use my Xyron sticker maker, I like to take my embossing stylus and run around the edges of all the pieces. If you've ever used a Xyron sticker maker, you've probably noticed when you start to peel the pieces away, sometimes you'll have extra tape or, adhesive that pulls away and it's kind of hanging off the edges and stuff. But if you take that embossing stylus and you run around the edges of the die cut pieces, burnishing around those, what it does is it helps to release that adhesive around the edges and you won't have any excess hanging off from around the edges of all your die cut pieces. And it does make a difference. If you don't, and you do have some, you can just tuck that adhesive back along the back side. But I really do like the idea of using that stylus to prevent that from happening in the first place. Now, I went ahead and started stacking those pieces together right on top of each other, and I'm going to leave them on that backing paper until I'm ready to place them on the truck itself. I'm going to go ahead and start stacking some pieces with my glue. I'm using my favorite glue, which is Barely Art glue. I use it all the time now in my craft room. It's the only glue I have other than when I'm doing sequins, and for that I just use Ranger's Glossy Accents. For all my die cut pieces, I have started using this Barely Art glue. You can pick it up in the Whimsy Stamps online shop now. It's available. They also carry their starter pack of foam adhesives, and I think it comes with squares and strips, but you can check it out over in their shop. So here you're going to see me using my lift and release tool to pick up those small, delicate pieces and place them on top of each other. Because for me, what happens when I'm die cutting these tiny little pieces and I'm trying to pick them up and put them together, I end up with glue all over my hands, and then everything starts sticking to my fingers. And I become so aggravated because I have to stop what I'm doing, go wash my hands to free them of all the sticky glue, and then come back and start over. And I usually end up having to do that process a couple of times. But since I've started using my lift and release tool, I have not had that problem. Now you will see me once I lay the piece down over the glue, you'll see me pick it up. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking those and pinching them together between my fingers, my thumb and my pointer finger. And what that does, it helps line everything up. When I get to the tire, you're going to see me use the little release end of my lift and release tool, and I'm going to put it in the center of the tire, and I'm going to run it around, and that helps to line those pieces up, making sure everything is stacked nice and straight. So for the truck, it's really simple, just some glue down. I'm going to stack these two pieces together, and then I'm going to start to assemble this truck. Now, for me, it's all pretty simple, but I do want to tell you what some of these pieces are for so it makes sense to you. I think it's all pretty self-explanatory. If you go to the Whimsy Stamps website and you pull up the truck die, you're going to see at the bottom of the graphic on the website that they actually have a little color graphic of the truck assembled. I had it up in the right-hand corner of my screen there just a few seconds ago. But it is a great guide for putting the truck together because you have the body of the truck and then you have the tires. The tires have rims and a little dot that goes in the center of the rims. And then you have a little bumper for the back and a bumper for the front. You have some detail for the windshield. You also have a tiny little handle for the door, a rear view mirror, or I'm sorry, not a rear view mirror, but a side mirror that you're going to put on the side of the truck there right by your window. So you do get a window, and it does have some detail work around that window that goes on the truck. So there's quite a bit of detail for this. Now you're going to see that long pink piece there on that release paper. That actually goes on the back top part of the bed of the truck. You're just going to line that piece right across the top, and you'll see that in the pictures of the finished product once we get to the end of the video. I also want to let you know that at the end of the video, it's going to be cut a little short because apparently my memory card was pretty full and I ran out of memory while I was recording this and didn't realize it. So I'm going to apologize to you right now for that. Luckily, it's just the assembly of the card, and I'm still going to walk you through that whole process, but I'm going to be showing you sample pictures of the project when we get there. Like I mentioned, most of this is all die cutting. So lots of die cutting, a little bit of ink blending, and then stamping our sentiment, and it's pretty easy. So I'm going to fast forward through all the rest of the die cutting and putting this together because, like I said, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. And if you have any questions, you always know you can leave them in the comments for me, or you can reach out to me personally through email or find me on social media. And I will be sure to get back to you just as quickly as I possibly can to answer any questions you may have. So let's go ahead and fast forward through this just a little bit, and then we'll pick back up at the end and you'll see the final truck all put together. So here I have my truck. It's put together. I love the way it turned out with that pink foil on it. Now it'll make sense once you see this all put together. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock and a piece of black cardstock. I'm going to head over to the big die cutting machine off screen, and I'm going to go ahead and die cut that pierced and stitched circle die along with the palm trees from the Build an Island die set. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do some ink blending. Also, while I'm over there at the die cutting machine, I'm going to cut some masking paper into little thin strips. I'm going to start with 1/4 inch width of my Avery removable label strips. And then I'm going to also cut some 1/8 of an inch strips. So they don't have to be that exact size, but in that ballpark works. Start to lay these strips down across this die cut circle so that we can have some white stripes in our ink blending that we're going to do. Now, as I'm laying this masking paper down, I'm lining it up with the grid lines on my glass media mat. I'm also starting at the top, leaving about a 1/2 inch between each strip. But as I move closer to the bottom, I'm going to go to about 1/4 of an inch between each strip. And it's going to give us this really kind of retro design. And we're creating a sunset. Here is what we're doing. So now that I have the strips all laid down, I'm going to start doing ink blending with my Distress Oxides in the picked raspberry, carved pumpkin, and squeezed lemonade. I'm using my Whimsy Stamps blender brushes for this. And I'm starting at the top with that picked raspberry. Then I'm going to move to the bottom and work my way up with squeezed lemonade. And then I'll meet in the center with a little bit of that carved pumpkin just to blend those two together. I do come in with a little bit of mustard seed right where the orange meets up with that yellow, just to make that blend a little bit bolder, brighter, and then work down into the lighter squeezed lemonade. Now, once we're done with this, we'll go ahead and peel these strips back for our big reveal. This is my favorite part of ink blending with anything that's masked, is that you get that reveal, and it's so much fun to see the end result. So now that we're removing the masking paper, we'll go ahead and start to put all the pieces together. And this is just about the time that my memory ran out on my memory card. So we're getting close to the end where I'm just going to move into showing you the picture samples. But real quick, I do have a little bit here that I can show you. This is what the end result looked from our ink blending, which I absolutely love the way this turned out. I want to do more. Right now, you're like, yeah, it's pretty, but you know, what's the big deal? But when I bring in the black palm trees and I lay them down over that, now that brings it to life, right? I absolutely love the way this is looking. I wasn't too sure when I first started that the whole thing would pull together, but I have to say I'm really happy with the way this is looking. Now, to finish this off, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the sample photos that I have to share with you, and we'll talk about how I finished it off. So at first I struggled a little bit with what color cardstock I wanted to use, and I think using the Nina Desert Storm cardstock was the best choice. I tried all different colors, and then of course just a basic white card base. Now this is a 5x5 card, and what I did was I took that Nina Desert Storm and I only ran the top part of it through the Whimsy Stamps Slimline Embossing Folder Wavelengths just to give it some more retro feel to it. Once I had that wavelength embossed on the top part, I just laid this down on my mini scoreboard and just scored a straight line right across where that design stopped just to give it a little finish to it. So then I used mounting foam on the back of all of the pieces, the ink blended background and the truck, to add them to the card base. And then using Whimsy Stamps Fantabulous stamp and coordinating dies, I stamped the sentiment and just added that with mounting foam, and it was that easy. So let me know what you think about the card in the comments below. I think it has a great summer vibe to it, and I really had a great time putting this together. I struggled a little bit with some tech issues. I also struggled a little bit during the process of how I was going to go about doing that ink blended background. At first, my mind wanted to do some die cutting with glitter cardstock, and it was just too much. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to scrap that and go with the ink blending, which made it so much easier. And I actually like the outcome so much better. So don't forget to leave a comment. Hop along by clicking that hashtag Whimsy Stamps Summer and leaving your comments, subscribing to each channel along the way so that you might have a chance to win that $100 gift certificate to the Whimsy Stamps store. I have the products linked down below with my affiliate links. Anytime you shop through those links, I earn a small commission, and to say that I appreciate it is an understatement. So please know how much I appreciate you spending time with us here on the Whimsy channel and all the other channels. The girls on the video team work so hard to bring you content. So be sure to leave them some love and just know that we appreciate you. And until next time, please take care.